Going to shoot a short video today on the Bradford Guardian 3. I'm sure you guys have heard of these. Very cool little fixed blade EDC. Really popular. Bradford Guardians, there's a few different iterations of them. This is the 3, but this is probably my favourite EDC type fixed blade, and I'm going to go into some of the things I really like about it and some of the things that I find slightly annoying. They're not big things, but I like to be honest, so we'll have a look at it, have a look at how you can wear it, use it, and we'll go into some of the specs. Okay, so you can see the Bradford Guardian there. It's set up for this horizontal carry, scout carry as they call it. So I've got that on the front. Now, one of the things, I love scout carry. I don't like knives that are worn down the leg, because with this you've got loads of range of motion and it doesn't bother you. You can sit down, you can bend, you can move, you can get them out nice and easily, and they don't cause too much of a problem. The issue I got with this one is, so it's actually a really nice leather sheath. It fits in there beautifully. I love the sheath, really nice retention, easy to get out, but it never falls out of there. Really nicely held, it's perfect. The only thing is that this part is quite wide, so when you put it in the belt, it takes up quite a lot of space behind here, you can see. So that limits you, especially on a lot of modern trousers. These are Cry Precision, but like the 511s and a lot of jeans and stuff, they have multiple belt loops. Generally there's a belt loop somewhere around here, so I got a choice of then sitting it there, which means that it just pokes out slightly, or if I go through that belt loop, you could try and sit it there, but then it actually starts messing with the buckle, so you can't sit it there. The perfect place to sit it would be right there, but right there is bang in the middle of that, so I'd kind of prefer it if you had this really nice leather sheath and then just a clip over there, so you could clip it over the trouser. That would be fantastic. Now, the other thing I've seen people talk about is scout carry around the back, something like that, which I had similar issues with in terms of positioning for belt loops, so then I'm stuck there. But you can see there, it again pokes out, and that's even more annoying when it pokes out, because that's actually poking out when you sit down, and it starts to interfere with stuff and get hung up, and it rips back and hangs off of things. And the other problem people don't think about, if you're carrying something around there, it's all great to get out, so I can pull it out, but now I've got to put it back, and now I can't see what I'm doing. So you can kind of try and feel it, but there's a chance that you're actually going to stab yourself in the back there, and that's not something I particularly want to do. And if I'm going to put a knife back, I want to be slick when I'm putting it back, so I've just about felt my way in there, nice and safe, but that's not slick. You know, here I can get it out, I can put it back, nice and quick. that's the whole point of having a decent sheath, that you can use this thing really quickly. Okay, we've got the Bradford Guardian 3. On the face of it, it seems like it's a pretty simplistic thing, a fixed blade, but these are, in the terms of the smaller EDC fixed blades, people absolutely love these, and to be honest, I love mine. I'll mention straight away, the only thing that I find a tiny bit annoying about it is the little bit of sharpness that you get on that piece there, and the same up here. Sometimes it can just snag a little bit, and kind of a bit of a hot spot. You can just feel it on your fingers, but I could take a bit of paper to that and polish it down, but other than that, this thing is just awesome. So first and foremost, the handles themselves are not very large handles, and that's one of the joys of these, is that it can be carried without being too cumbersome, because you haven't got tons of handle poking out. But I've got pretty big hands, and it's just about enough to get a full grip on if you're choked up and you've got a finger choil on there. You've got jimping on the back, and it's decent jimping. It's not like ripping your thumb off or anything. It doesn't hurt you, but it's certainly enough to get a good purchase on. Bradford do a number of different designs and materials, so this one in particular, it was actually quite hard for me to find. It was stainless AEBL, which is a steel that you normally find on, you know, custom knife makers and stuff. Use a lot of AEBL. You don't often see it on production knives, which is cool, I think. I really like it. It's been great. It sharpens well, and I think it's a stone wash type of thing. You've obviously got the full tang there, then at the rear you've got a little lanyard hole. So very simplistic design, but just like all things simple, you know, it's simple but ultimately incredibly functional. Got a false edge on the top, and the blade on this, the cutting edge, I think is 3 inches. We'll just have a check. So overall length 6.75, blade length 3.5, so it's over 3.5 inch, but a 3 inch cutting edge. And then we've got the flat blade grind. Handle length is 3.25 and the weight is 3.96 ounces. And you can get these also in M390, you can get them in Magna Cut. The scales are G3, really nice and grippy. I actually love these scales. I didn't think I would be that impressed with them, but they have a number of different scales. They've got so many different options. It's actually hard to make a choice. They've got so many colours, and it just depends on what they've got on the site or what you can find. So also comes with these fantastic sheaths, which are leather. They do also offer a Kydex sheath on the site. I don't know what they're like. Another good option would be if you could run a clip down here and carry this whole thing in the pocket and just have that small handle poking out the top. But other than that, this is one of my favourite sheaths just because it's really nice and thin, small. It looks less tactical and less obtrusive, so if you're carrying this and you're doing a bit of work somewhere, people don't automatically assume that you're, you know, some sort of military guy or whatever. It just looks like a reasonable work knife. It's pretty rustic, so it goes well with clothing. It looks suitable with jeans and things like that. Once it softens up, it's really nice. The little knife goes in and out really well, and it's quite easy, even if you're not particularly paying attention, to just get it back in. Retention is fantastic. So there's not a huge amount left to say on this, other than the fact it's just my absolute favourite EDC fixed blade. I use it all the time for work, and well, in fact I've got a one for work which is battered that I use all the time, and this one I kind of keep a bit nicer. But yeah, I couldn't see more good things about this. I'll probably take a bit of wet and dry to that and just knock off that edge. Other than that, it's literally the perfect fixed blade.